at KBLA1580.com. That's KBLA1580.com. Your voice matters. Your presence matters. We'll see you there.
First things first.
First things first, it's the DU General, Money B. I'ma put you up on the schedule. 6 to 9, 8 weekdays, not 2 and 7. Let's go. We got a lot to talk about, so much to pedal through. Unapologetically progressive. Tune to KBLA 1580 to get the mess. We're your ancestors' favorite radio station. First black on talk radio, left side of the nation. Me and Dominique the Prima go way back. Tag Smiley making sure the station stays black. Discussing all the issues in our community. We're hosted black and brown and others find unity. So let's talk about it. Maybe we can improve it. Digital underground, always down with the movement. So we tune in. The first things first with the queen of black talk radio, Dominique the Prima. Go sis.
First things first.
KBLA Talk 1580. Good morning, and God bless. I'm Dominique DePrima. The show is called First Things First, and my very first thing today and every day is giving thanks to God, giving praises and asking for blessings from the Most High, asking for the blessings of the ancestors and the elders, and let's turn it up. It's a Talking Point Tuesday, so we do our best to debunk stuff that needs to be debunked and fortify those things that are actually helping, if we can sort them out and tell which is which. Hour 1 on a Tuesday, we look local. Hour 2, we go national, international, and beyond. And in the third hour, we do a deep dive on a hot topic or person or persons or all of the above. And today we're a little bit veering off that path. If you want to call me, excuse me, I suggest you do it right now at 800-920-1580, 800-920-1580. Phone lines are open all day, but this is the most space we have, you know what I mean? Excited to be talking with NAACP Hollywood President Kyle Bowser and Maximina Jusson, who is an award-winning filmmaker. And they have some exciting stuff to share. Plus, of course, we'll talk about what's going on in the black film space right now at this crossroads that we find ourselves at in our country. Hour 3, we're going to talk with Dr. Anahita Madavi, again, Madavi West. And again, you know, she is a brilliant scholar who has a master's of arts in clinical psychology. So we're going to focus on getting our mind right, but from a progressive perspective, not a woe is me perspective, if you will. And of course, you're always invited into the chat. That is at youtube.com and then KBLA 1580, youtube.com. The comments section is fire, and I'm always grateful to see you there. So that's what's happening. And I'm pretty sure by now you know that the Left Coast Forum is coming up on Saturday. A lot of the time, you know, I'm not as excited about whatever you want to call it, symposia, conference, gathering, fellowship. But I'm really, really excited about this because it is a progressive tradition in Southern California that we had, and then it went away, and now it's back. And to have a progressive tradition showing up for us, returning right now at this perilous moment in our history is really great. It's what we need. We need to rub elbows, talk smack, argue, agree, disagree, break bread, have a little fun. And one thing about a Tavis Smiley party. You're going to have some food. You're going to have some music. You're going to have some fellowship along with that intellectual stimulation. Meet some new friends and all of that stuff. So I hope to see you there. If you want to go, please go to kbla1580.com and, sign up. It's really simple. It's not going to take you long at all. It's all day on Saturday. So even if you have other plans, come before, come after. We are starting at 9 a.m. and going all the way to 7. So there's got to be a couple hours in your day when you can stop by. And to be honest with you, you're probably going to end up staying because there's going to be so many great people there, including Dr. Cornell West, who we are really always excited to see, and Tavis Smiley, of course. I'll be there. I think I'm sitting on a panel and hosting another panel. So, yeah, it's going to be just an amazing chance to get together, do what we love to do, which is talk and hang out, but also to do some intellectualizing and some partying, little miniature partying. One of the big, I guess, online jokes, I've seen a hilarious sort of, it's not really a meme, it's a video going around about black people freaking out and running for it because of the government shutdown. And the assumption is the government shutdown, which is dragging on and on and on, is not affecting our lives directly. And hopefully that is true for you. It's true for a lot of people so far. But it looks like the SNAP, or what we used to call food stamps, that Food Nutrition Assistance, Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. I never knew that's what SNAP stood for. Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. The food stamps, the card, whatever. If they don't end the government shutdown by Thursday, those folks that rely on SNAP may be out of luck. What our governor is saying here in California is that it will be delayed starting November 1st. If the shutdown doesn't end by day after tomorrow, the SNAP benefits that would normally go out on November 1st are going to be delayed, and they'll be delayed further and further, obviously, the longer this thing drags on. California is a huge state. We're bigger than a lot of countries. As you know, we're actually the 4th largest economy in the world, which would, if you're just judging by money, by productivity, it would put us up there above all of the other states and certainly quite a few countries. 5.5 million people in California use SNAP to supplement. A lot of those people are working, by the way. This stereotype that people receiving assistance are sitting around on their couches getting high and popping out babies is simply not true. There are a lot of people who just don't make enough, right? Cali is expensive. Rent is high. And since this new round of inflation, Biden had his round. Now we're having the Trump round with these tariffs and such. Food prices are going up. If you've been to a restaurant, if you've been to a grocery store, you see it. It's crazy. $7 for what? And so a lot of folks who have jobs, in some cases they might have more than one job, are relying on SNAP. That's why it's 5.5 million people. And it's not going to be pretty if it is delayed starting Monday. I don't know if Republicans are going to take a hit for this in terms of how they're perceived, but I hope so. And the reason I say I don't know is because they're doing all these not so clever videos, like the one Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem had of her saying that the government shutdown was the Democrats' fault. So if you're getting delayed at the airport, be mad at Democrats. I love that some airports, including Bay Area airports, are refusing to air it because it is propaganda and it should be illegal. I don't know what the rules around that are, but having the Homeland Security Secretary do partisan politics in an airport video seems pretty illegal. I know just their presence in a way is partisan politics, and that's always been a thing. but it seems illegal to be so blatant about it. I love that some folks are resisting. Um, and I hope the American people are seeing through this because it is the Republicans wanting to stop paying the Affordable Care Act supplement that helps middle class and working class families pay for health insurance. That is what is at the heart of this shutdown. They want to give tax cuts to the wealthy. They are doing it. And I'm talking by wealthy, I'm talking the billionaires and millionaires, multimillionaires and billionaires, not you. And so, well, I don't know, maybe we have some billionaires and millionaires and our multimillionaires in our KBLA delegation, and we welcome you because we know you're the socially innovative kind that doesn't mind paying their fair share and supporting the commons, because actually millionaires and billionaires use more of the commons, the resources, than others. More of our water to keep their big luscious lawns alive, more of our human resources to drive their companies, more of our highways and shipping and air carriers, which means more pollutants. So if you're using more, it makes sense that you would give back more, doesn't it? I know the billionaires and multimillionaires in our KBLA delegation already get that, but certainly that's what's happening. More money for the rich, less for you, less supplements for health care, which means a lot of folks won't be able to afford it anymore. And it's not just for people who are taking advantage of the Affordable Care Act. If the Affordable Care Act insurance goes up, that's the least expensive, then all of the private insurance will also go up. It will have a ripple effect throughout the entire U.S. economy. That's what the shutdown is about. That's what's at the heart of it. And hopefully the American people recognize that and don't fall for the okie doke or the Homeland Security Barbie video. You are welcome to call me, 800-920-1580. I say all that to say that the government shutdown, which everyone's been joking about, is now getting to the point where it may well impact the average person, you or I, not just people who work for the government, not just people who rely on government contracts for their business. Average, everyday Americans trying to go about their business. And I'm certainly hoping that this new Confederate MAGA administration pays the political price for that. I'm Dominique DePrima for KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DePrima when we come forward.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now.
800-550-9651.
Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
Or call 800-550-9651. That's 800-550-9651.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Hi, I'm Jesse Jackson Jr., inviting you to join me weekdays at 12 noon, right after Tavis Smiley, here on KBLA Talk 1580. As a law school graduate and a theologian with a firm grasp of our body politic given almost 2 decades in Congress, my show is the fresh new home of an authentic, uncompromised quest for transformation and salvation, both personal and collectively, as I vigorously interrogate the theological and symbolic meanings embedded in our society. I promise to leverage my knowledge of history, theology, and both international and domestic issues to imagine an inclusive vision for the future, which I hope will inspire all of us to pursue life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness as a given, not just an aspiration. So join me weekdays at 12 noon right after Tavis Smiley for 2 hours of the Jesse Jackson Jr. Show only on KBLA Talk 1580.
The California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusader is a multicultural, black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
Seems like there's more identity theft in the news every day.
Another major healthcare breach was reported today, resulting in the exposure of 1 in 4 consumers have been a victim of identity.
That's because there are endless places that could accidentally expose you to identity theft, in a breach, or simply by mistake. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it, guaranteed or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at lifelock.com. Terms apply.
Stop settling for weak sound. It's time to level up your game and bring the boom. Hit the town with the ultra-durable LG X Boom portable speaker and enjoy vibrant sound wherever you go. Elevate your listening experience to new heights because, let's be real, your music deserves it. The future of sound is now with LG X Boom. And for a limited time, save 25% at LG.com with code FALL25. Bring the boom. X Boom.
Your ancestors' favorite radio station, and your favorite morning show host. Let's get back to Dominique DePrima right now.
Ooh, yeah, we're back to me, and we're back to this. Okay, so Miles had the hot honey, and I tried it. It's a little spicy.
Feeling it?
Yeah, it's a little spicy. It's another kind of wake-up call. But
your sinus is open?
It's the Montego, what is it called? Montego Island. Montego Island, I think, the people that came in. And I haven't tried their stuff yet because I, took some of this. They gave me some of the hot sauce and marinade, so I still have to cook. I haven't gotten around to cooking. But, yeah. Wow. A little spicy.
We'll put it in your tea?
I'm a punk when it comes to spicy. I think just tasting it was really good enough for me right now. But, yeah. Oh, Lord. Apparently there is a fake EBT app going around, and the Apple Store just took it down. So be careful. It's an app that is posing as a government app, but what it's going to do is just take your money. It's just going to charge you all these fees against. How do they do that? Charge fees against your EBT. It's like an electronic transfer app, just like, I guess like a Zelle type thing or a Venmo type app for EBT. It's called EBT Edge Food Stamps. And there's a real one called EBT Edge, which is really from the state, but this one is the fake, like the knockoff app, EBT Edge Food Stamps. That is cold. People out here making a whole app to rip off other folks of their doggone money, their food money. I worry about all these kids, because that's a lot of, it's not the only people, but that's a lot of the people that are relying on SNAP. But we're not going to appeal to this administration's I give up about about the kids. That would be dumb, stupid, because they don't care about their own kids. Why would they care about your children? And so, yeah, but that's crazy. You got to watch what you download as far as these apps go. I mean, we know even good apps track your data. They try to take your information, even good apps, even apps that we love, take our data, IG, stuff like that. They are not giving you a free app for free. They are giving it to you so they can get something from you, which is information about you, your shopping habits, where you go, what you read, who you are. But this is next level. They actually created a whole app to siphon money off of your EBT account. That's crazy. I'm not a big follower of baseball. I'm always going to root for the Dodgers now because I'm a Angelino now. Don't get mad. My Bay Area friends do not like it when I say that. Especially when it comes to Dodgers because Giants. But even when I was in the Bay, to be honest with you, I was watching the A's more than. But anyway, I'm not really a baseball person. But the Dodgers are back in the World Series. It feels like the Dodgers lately are always in the World Series. Is that my imagination, Miles? It seems like the Dodgers are just on a streak.
Look at the money they're spending. They're spending a nice check on these players. They better get that return. So yeah, no, the Dodgers are on top right now.
But aren't the Lakers spending a lot of money too?
Yeah, but I mean, they're top heavy. They're very top heavy, and it's more competitive in the NBA right now than it is in the MLB. I think once you load the rosters like that. I mean, Shohei Ohtani, you've got the best two-way player of all time. It seems like.
I guess I didn't realize there were no salary caps in baseball. They could just pay you as much as they want.
As much as you want, fully guaranteed contracts. So yeah, no, I mean it's strategic. They spent the money. It makes sense to going for it right now. Yeah.
What do you mean that it's fully guaranteed? If
Contract?
If you're injured, you still get paid? No.
Once you signed the $700 million contract, it was fully guaranteed. So if you get injured, if you get traded, if you fall off and they release you, it's fully guaranteed money.
They're still going to get paid even if they get traded?
You're still going to get your contract gets traded, but regardless, you're still going to get paid.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, you're going to get paid either way. God, wow, that's wild. So yeah, that's what Tavis and Ali Mistal were talking about, how baseball is so different, and so many black families have moved away from it. And I know it's partly, as a mama, I know it's because it's expensive. Just to take your kids on the road and train them and all the things, it's more expensive. But it's reminding me of a conversation that came and went, which is that now all these Latino families and others, black families too, white people, everybody loves the Dodgers. But it seems like they have a lot of Latino fans. I mean, this is L.A. Right?
L.A., yeah.
This is L.A. If you're popular, there's going to be a whole bunch of Latino people there. Well, I guess people have forgotten that the owner of the Dodgers, or maybe they don't care, this guy Mark Walter, who's the principal owner, is CEO of Guggenheim Partners, which is a financial company that has $325 billion in assets. And among those assets is a huge stake in this group called the GEO Group. The GEO Group runs private prisons, a lot of ICE detention centers. The ICE detention center that my brother, the mayor of Newark, New Jersey, was arrested in front of, even though, as the video played on Rachel Maddow proves, he was not trespassing. He wasn't even protesting. He had already left the area and was out in front waiting for the press conference to start. That prison, that ICE detention center in Newark, New Jersey, was owned by this particular firm, the GEO Group. They own a lot of these ICE detention centers, and they make big money.
Weren't they trying to make the Dodger Stadium like an ICE safe zone, I believe, or something like that?
Yeah, but that, really? I mean,
No,
they said that. They did say that, and we saw at one point trucks blocking ICE from getting in. But I just wonder how genuine that is when the owner, the principal owner of the team, is making his dough on ICE.
That's what I'm saying.
And these groups like the GEO Group, they're having a big renaissance in terms of their moment to make a lot of money. Because one of the things that's happening is that this administration is detaining more people than they're deporting. And we don't know if the plan is to have those people work for free. We know some of them are already doing, forced labor in prison. We don't know what the plan is, but in the meantime, they're holding a lot of people, and these ICE detention centers are making a grip. And so the GEO Group alone is worth $3.39 billion. And so that means this Guggenheim Group, which is, Mark Walter is the CEO of, has more than $12 million invested in locking up your friends or people that they're profiling. They might not even be your friends. U.S. citizens, we talked about this yesterday. At least 170 U.S. citizens have been detained by ICE, many of them without any access to a lawyer. Have we forgotten this? Will there be protests? Asking for a friend. News, traffic, and sports, then more only right here.
More of First Things First with Dominique DePrima when we come forward.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. LA Mayor Karen Bass and Congressman Robert Garcia are launching an investigation into what they call illegal ICE raids targeting Latinos.
We said at that time that LA was being used as the laboratory and that the egregious, unconstitutional behavior from our federal government was going to start here and spread around the country.
Garcia says federal agents unlawfully detained U.S. citizens and immigrants, denying due process. Opening statements start Wednesday in the trial of former Illinois Deputy Sean Grayson, charged with murdering Sonia Massey. Massey, a 36-year-old mother of two, was shot in her kitchen after calling police about a prowler. And TMZ reports President Trump is weighing a commutation for Sean Diddy Combs, who's serving 50 months for Mann Act violations. White House staff reportedly opposed the move, but Trump could act this week. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Right now, there are young people across the world facing a tough choice: continue their dream of education or drop out to help their family put food on the table. You can help change their future in a single moment. See how far your support can go at unbound.org.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Dodgers will play the Toronto Blue Jays in the World Series. Toronto beat Seattle 4-3 Monday night to win a decisive Game 7 in the American League Championship Series. Toronto had a better regular season record than the Dodgers by 1 game, so they will have home field advantage. Games 1 and 2 will be Friday and Saturday night in Toronto. The NBA regular season tips off tonight. The Lakers are at home tonight against Golden State. For the first time in LeBron's 23-year career, he will not be playing in a regular season opener. LeBron, who turns 41 in December, will be sidelined at least 3 to 4 weeks with a sciatic nerve injury. In each of LeBron's 7 seasons with the Lakers, he has played an average of 59 games. LeBron has not played all 82 games in a regular season since the 2017-18 season when he was with Cleveland. LeBron was 33 at the time. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
Looking for a purposeful and passionate way to make a difference in your community? Volunteer with our Senior Medicare Patrol and help prevent Medicare fraud. S&P volunteers work in their community educating peers about healthcare fraud and how to prevent and detect it. Free training starts soon. Check us out online or at an S&P open house near you. We're on a mission to stop fraud. Join our team. You make a difference. Visit casmpvolunteer.org.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Worried about eviction? You have rights, and Stay Housed LA can help. Stay Housed LA is a partnership between LA County, the City of Los Angeles, and local service providers. From Lancaster to Long Beach, we're here to help you with tenant education workshops, legal clinics, free legal services for eligible tenants, and online resources about tenant protection laws. Don't face eviction alone. Call our hotline at 1-888-694-0040. That's 1-888-694-0040. Or visit stayhousedla.org. Stay Housed LA, keeping Los Angeles residents in their homes. Stay Housed LA, your rights, your home, our community. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Severe from Vicks.
Sinex Severe nasal spray.
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Severe instantly relieves nasal congestion and works 6 times faster than nasal decongestant tablets. The 12 hours of relief allow you to get back to the moments that matter without congestion.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it! Try Sinex Severe from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
There's nothing like when you get that part from eBay and it just fits. Yeah, the first time. So you can do less of this and get right back to more of this. At eBay, you'll find all the parts you need, guaranteed to fit, at prices you'll love. Sounds good, doesn't it? eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Thanks for waking up with Dominique DePrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
Yes, indeed. We are grateful to you always. 800-920-1580 if you want to jump in. And Molly Bell is not playing about Proposition 50. And I agree. She says yes on 50. Thanks for sharing stuff. I agree with you, Molly Bell. Regardless of the the disinformation, and I think some people are going against Prop 50 because they're mad at Democrats or because they're annoyed with Gavin Newsom or furious with Newsom, by the way, for vetoing all of these reparations bills, right? And I get that, but I'm not going to cut off my nose to spite my face at this point. We have got to vote yes on Prop 50 to take the edge off of Republicans cheating in the midterm elections. I believe they already cheated in the general. I can't prove it. Well, but there are signs, as they say. I'm speculating. Like I always tell you, if I don't have the data in front of me, I'll tell you when I'm speculating that Elon Musk and the tech bros may have pulled a fast one in the last election. Now they're trying to pull a fast one right in front of our face. They're saying, Trump said, just like he said, can you find me some more votes in Georgia? He said, can you find me some more seats in Congress so I can continue to rule like an emperor or a king with a crown and poop to drop on the people? And that poop he was dropping from that plane was his policy, was he's, crapping on you so he can give more money to the rich. So Prop 50 at least snatches back the seats they're stealing from in Texas. They're responding to what the president asked them to do, gerrymandering, which means drawing crazy maps, right, to advantage certain communities. They're doing that, eliminating black seats, including Jasmine Crockett's, reportedly, which means they get 5 extra seats, which means at least for the current moment, if we do nothing, they could have a permanent majority in the House of Representatives. They already have a tough to overcome advantage in the Senate because the Senate maps are totally unfair. You get 2 senators per state, no matter how many people you have. So Rhode Island, which has like 12 people living there, gets 2 senators. And California, which is the 4th largest economy in the world, also gets 2 senators. They do that to water down the impact of so-called minority votes, of black people, Latinos, etc. Okay, we get it. But we have to fight back where we can, and I get that it's not ideal. But you don't lay around and let a bully cheat and beat you up and do nothing. We have got to snatch back these seats. It's only temporary. It sunsets, and then we return to our system of redistricting that takes the redistricting out of the hands of politicians, which I think is a good thing. And for people who say that Democrats will win the arms race when it comes to gerrymandering, that may be true, but we don't know that they're going to succeed in every state. So I believe you push back and you do what you can. And maybe if they do win in every state, it means they have a 10-seat advantage instead of a 15-seat advantage. And you know what? I'll take it. Because that could be the margin of the landslide that they might be facing in 2028 and end up giving us a 1 or 2 or 3 seat majority in the House of Representatives. And if Democrats end up with a 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 seat majority in the House of Representatives after 2028. All of you guys that were talking about, oh, we shouldn't do Prop 50 need to come back and say, yeah, you guys were right. I know you won't, but. So I agree with Molly Bell. Yes on 50, and I think it's important. And it's not about Republicans or Democrats, really, although this is on its surface exactly what it looks like. It's Gavin Newsom and the Dems pushing for to take 5 more seats back in California to counteract what Republicans are doing in Texas. But the reason I say it's not just about party affiliation is because it's also about race. Republicans have consistently gerrymandered away black seats and Latino seats. And from what I'm understanding of the remix of the Cali maps, there are no black or Latino districts lost. We create 5 new blue districts to counteract what they're doing in Texas. And that's us fighting back. That's us fighting back in a way that only we can do, because we're one of the few states that is big enough to even have 5 states to flip. 5 districts to flip, and is big enough and blue enough to pull that off. So it's important, and it's the only thing on the ballot. And guess what? You don't have to wait. Okay, right now I'm talking to myself because that ballot's been sitting on my table, and I haven't sent it in yet, but maybe I'll do it today. I like to drop them in the county drop boxes or bring them to the actual polling place. That's what I usually like to do. More than putting it in the mail. Those LA County drop boxes, they're everywhere. It's the yellow and baby blue. There's one right over here in Leimert Park, not too far from the station, in the actual park part of Leimert Park. They're in front of libraries. They're lots of places. And you can go to the Secretary of State website. I think it's sos.ca.gov. And they'll tell you can go to the LA County Registrar Recorder's office, and they'll tell you where to find one. It's really not that difficult, but we got to do it. Your little municipality, your city, whatever, you might have another issue on there, but the only thing statewide in the special election is Prop 50. And I'm urging a yes. I just can't believe how many folks are saying no, and I think they're saying no for the wrong reasons. If black districts are being eliminated as part of this push to ensure the emperordom, the kingship of DJT, then we have to push back against that. And even if we can't restore those black districts in Texas, we can get closer to it over time, because we're going to have more clout in Congress, and eventually, hopefully, we'll be able to build that power back. It's really important, and I know it's not sexy. It's not fun to talk about. It will be more fun to talk about, will he or won't he pardon Diddy? I say he will, but we'll see. It'd be more fun and jazzy to talk about, what's happening with Nancy Pelosi. The LA Times seems to think they're pushing her out because everybody wants her seat, and she's getting up there in age. I'm not an ageist. I say you push people out based on them being competent or not competent, not their age on paper. Congresswoman Maxine Waters is considerably more chronologically gifted than Donald J. Trump, and she's way, way, way sharper. Her walk is sassy, her talk is sassy. Everybody's 80 is not the same. Let's go to Ron from Richmond. Good morning, Ron.
Good morning, Dominique Prima. How are you?
I'm blessed. How you doing?
I'm blessed too. Just thankful to be here. Yeah. Give a shout out to my homeboy over here getting this graveyard grind on. I ain't gonna put his name out there, but he is rolling with Trump. I'm like, bruh, I don't care. Trump will never get my support. I don't care if he's trying to be president of a quick stop. I'm not voting Donald Trump nuts,
So
man. This dude.
why? What
is
is
the
it
devil,
about?
man. Trump is the devil. Trump is the devil.
Because
Flat
you
out
literally
devil. I
think
said
he's
it. I don't care. Man, I'm not voting for that dude. God bless Obama and Joe Biden. Joe Biden going through health issues and everything, man. But he, you know what I mean? Trump, man. Man, he just ain't no good. I can't roll with that dude. Never had, never will. For real.
So,
Man.
no way, no
I'm sorry,
how,
go-
nothing
you
he
go
could
ahead.
do. If he granted reparations tomorrow, you'd still be like, nope.
Oh, the reparations. That's the money, right? Because I hear you talk about that a lot. So
Yeah, I mean, that's a
and
big
for
part
us.
of it, right? Cut the check. Yeah, for
Yeah,
descendants of
cut the-
chattel
yeah.
slavery. I mean, look, I'm not saying he will, but I think a lot of people have been bought off for much less, Ron. You know, the Kodak Black and Lil
Yeah.
Wayne pardons bought him a lot of followers because a lot of people feel like, well, that's symbolic of how he looks at us, or that's going to show you what he'll do in the future. And I just think it's important that people remember, while he's pardoning rich people, yes, they're black people,
Yeah.
but they're still rich people and famous people. He's not the majority of people he's jailing. He's putting U.S. citizens, black U.S. citizens, in ICE custody. He's jailing people every day. And his last run up to the end of his prior term, he bumped
Yeah.
off 5 black people who were sitting on death row. Let's speed this up. He took a dozen people out on the way out the door, 5 of them black. You know I don't believe in the death penalty. So he's very strategic in how he images these pardons to cover up the dirty deeds he's doing to the average black person.
Exactly. Right. You're right on point, and that's why I can't roll with that dude. He all about the rich, all about you know what he's doing. But the poor, us poor black folks, man, we can't catch a break out here trying to cut EBT, Medicare. I put it out there. Yes, I am a EBT recipient. I've been out of work for a minute, and I'm here trying to take care of my 84-year-old mama. He trying to shut everything down. Like, come on, that's not cool, man. I don't like what he's doing. I'm not rolling with Trump. I let the whole world know Trump will not get my vote ever. Period. Point blank. So I'm putting it out there. But let me get back to being nice, Ron, today. Just call and say what's up to you, Dominique. You always looking beautiful, looking like your mom. I love your smile. When you smile, you make me smile. So keep doing what you're doing. You know I love you, my sister. Big shout out to my boy Miles, holding it down for you. Y'all keep up the good work. And, yeah, I'm going to tap in on the YouTube chat and all that and say what's up to everybody. Let me stop yapping. I got this phone.
All right,
I love you,
Ron.
Dominique. Keep up the good work, my
Love
friend.
you more. Thank you for calling. Yeah, shout out to all my folks that are, relying on EBT to supplement a job they don't have, their unemployment, or supplement a job they do have that just simply doesn't pay enough. Shout out to you, and hopefully you'll put some pressure on this White House, not that they care, but just in case they're worrying about their image, because apparently if they don't get it together by the day after tomorrow, the SNAP piece is going to be drastically reduced. Molly Bell's asking if any of the KBLA delegation has voted yet. I haven't. Guilty as charged. Should we go in person or mail? She says, I say just get it done. If you got to drop it in the mail, you don't need postage. Do that. I prefer to go to a county drop box or walk it into early voting, but I just think that we got to get it done because it's too easy to lose the little piece of paper, or you're sick that day and, the last day to vote and you don't get it done. So, yeah. And to answer your other question, Molly Bell, my understanding is we will not be live streaming the Left Coast Forum. We will only be there in person if you can make it in person. I'm going to do my best to go on my Instagram and go live a few times, go on my TikTok and go live a few times. So maybe, you can follow me. I'm at Deprima Radio and everything. And I'll try my best to give you a little window into what's going on, but we're not going to be live streaming like we do on our in-studio cameras every single day at youtube.com. So, and I'm sure other KBLA personalities, Tavis Smiley, Dr. Nicorlai Corte, and others will also be streaming and posting a lot of stuff. All right, it's perfect time to call me, 800-920-1580. I'm Dominique DeFrima for KBLA Talk 1580.
A safe place to go loud. A great place for progressive politics. KBLA Talk 1580.
Donald Trump has all but declared war on California, sending in the National Guard, blocking disaster relief, and cutting funds to our colleges. And now, he and Texas Republicans are trying to rig the next election by stealing congressional seats from black voters in states like Texas.
They want to rig these elections, and they want the power that gerrymandering provides.
Seriously, look it up. But Prop 50 is how we fight back. It gives Californians the power to fight fire with fire and beat Trump at his own game. Prop 50 creates temporary emergency congressional maps that level the playing field and protect the power of black votes. Not just in California, but across the country. Your vote matters, and the whole country is counting on California to lead. So use your vote to protect our power, our history, and our future. Vote yes on Prop 50 by November 4th. Ad paid for by Yes on 50, the Election Rigging Response Act, Governor Newsom's Ballot Measure Committee, Ad Committee's top funders, HMP for Prop 50, and Fund for Policy Reform.
Established in 2020 during a time of deep racial unrest across our state and country, the Black Freedom Fund was created to make sure that leaders and organizations working to support black communities and build power have the resources they need to stay in the fight for the long haul. We believe that those closest to the issues impacting our communities know best how to solve them. That's why in just the last 5 years, we've granted more than $45 million to over 200 grassroots organizations across California. That is the largest collective investment in black organizing in history, and we're just getting started. We are clear-eyed and committed, more now than ever, to our people, our power, and our possibility. Join us in creating a future where black people harness their full power to shape their lives and realize a just world for all. Learn more at fundblackfreedom.org. That's fundblackfreedom.org. The Black Freedom Fund is proud to sponsor Conversation Live Altadena Rising with James Farr on KBLA Talk 1580.
This is KBLA Talk 1580, where everybody is somebody and nobody is a stranger. You belong here.
Yeah, the other thing I know, this election right here in California is going to creep up on us. What happened to October? It's almost Halloween. The Left Coast Forum is like a minute and a half away. This year is gone, so you might as well go and get the. I'm going to be so interested. And we have to talk to a friend on this because people do not understand this Prop 50. I'm telling you, what I am seeing online around this is misinformation, disinformation, just plain, I don't get it. And the opposition, the Republican Party, because they are so far outnumbered in the state legislature, they're putting all their money into this. They got big, deep pockets to trick you. So, yeah, we need to tell somebody about it. November 4th is the last day, but it's already October 21st. So you got like under 2 weeks left. And I think it's hilarious that Schwarzenegger is out here campaigning against it. So it's like Schwarzenegger versus Obama. Who would win? If the competition is an intellectual one, I'm giving that to the forever president, Obama. But meanwhile, in Sacramento, they've got F Newscum, no on 50 signs. Newscum is the special name that the poopy president made up for our governor. And I call him the poopy president because he's the one that posted a meme of himself, an AI meme of himself dropping feces on American people who are simply exercising their democratic right to protest. And I agree with, I understand the trepidation people have, but I agree that this is what we have to do. It's temporary, but this is what we have to do to counteract the way that they are trying to rig the midterm elections, because they know their policies are not. They know their policies are not popular when people break them down. And honestly, we haven't even barely started feeling them yet. Hopefully they'll realize that their own constituents are the main ones using SNAP, and they'll reel in this government shutdown by Thursday. But if not, that's when a lot of people will start feeling the pain for the first time. And trust me, by the time 2028 rolls around, the tariffs will be really obvious, the way they're hitting prices. It's already obvious to many business owners, but perhaps not so obvious to consumers. The pain of these decisions that are in support of the very rich under the guise of populism will be much more obvious by 2028. So that's why they know that. That's why they're trying to rig the election by getting 5 extra votes out of 5 extra seats out of Texas. And Trump wants them to do it in every red state. And they will try, but there's no guarantee that they'll succeed. Every state has different rules about what you have to do to redistrict, to gerrymander. Usually only happens every 10 years. This is at the 5-year point, so that's already unusual. So it's not a given that they can automatically flip all of those districts. So we need to do what we can do and hold the line as much as we can. That's how you deal with a political war. Do what you can do and hold the line. You don't sit back and say, oh, but when they go high, I go low. No shade to Michelle Obama, the forever First Lady, but that was a very different time than the time we're in now. And I think the fact that President Barack Obama, is on TV doing commercials, yes, on 50, shows you that it's a very different time. Good for you, Jacqueline Anderson says. I voted. Willie Ellis says, I took my ballot to the post office. I said, get the doggone thing in, whatever you do. And remember, if you check your registration and you're not registered, even though the deadline passed for you to receive the mail-in ballot, we have same-day registration. You can register today, tomorrow, the next day, all the way up till Election Day and still vote. So don't believe the hype. That's important. And I hope that you'll tell a friend. Tell a friend, yes, on 50. We have to do it. Because if we don't do it, nobody's going to do it. It's not, the commercials are sometimes confusing, and I think a lot of people, some people just go with the confusion, but I also know that other people throw up their hands and don't vote. Or they automatically vote no on a thing because they figure if they don't understand it, it's better to get rid of it than to keep it. If I don't understand this, I'm just going to vote no, and then it goes away. That would be bad if that's what the decision is with Prop 50. I'm not sure where we go from there if we don't pass it, because the districts will stay the same, and the Texas 5 votes the 5 seats that they're moving over, I call them votes because that's what the president is counting on. Votes for more of his big, terrible bills. Or medium-sized or small, terrible bills. You see what they're doing. It's so quick and so much further than I think anybody really thought they would go, other than the architects of Project 2025, that your rights are being stripped. And your, what they like to call entitlements, but they're really benefits that you've paid into and worked for. They're being reduced, being stripped from Social Security to Medicare, Medi-Cal. So what does that mean? It means that if he has those extra 5, 10, 15, 20 votes in Congress, he can pass more and more and more stuff. He doesn't even have to consult with Democrats because it won't be close anymore. Right now, the margins are close. So they have to cooperate a tiny bit, not much, because they have the House, the Senate, the court, and the executive branch. They have every branch of government, which is why it's totally ridiculous and stupid for them to be blaming the shutdown on Democrats. You control the entire government. You know, it's a would-be dictator's, fantasy come true. You control every house of government, every branch. And the Supreme Court potentially for, another 50, 60, 70 years. Barring a miracle, some COVID outbreak on the Supreme Court. which I don't see happening. Barring a miracle, they get, all get struck by lightning. Strike down the ones that lied in their in their Senate hearings. I mean, that's, it was just a joke. Okay. Not like I have we all have a direct line to the Lord, but I'm just saying it's highly unlikely, right? So if you control the entire thing, then you have to take responsibility for what the thing does. And right now, the U.S. government is the thing. The new Confederate MAGA administration does control every branch of government. And I grant you, we could fight back better, we could fight back harder, but they control the White House, the courts, lower and supreme, the Senate, and the House of Representatives. So guess what? You bought it, you break it, you buy it. You own it. You own this shutdown, and hopefully the people of the United States are smart enough to see through all bunch of dumb little videos and finger pointing. Okay, we're talking the state of our democracy and what's being done about it next on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. LA Mayor Karen Bass and Congressman Robert Garcia are launching an investigation into what they call illegal ICE raids targeting Latinos.
We said at that time that LA was being used as the laboratory and that the egregious, unconstitutional behavior from